Department of Environmental Protection has identified Cedar Creek as being impaired. They have identified it being impaired for elevated levels of fecal coliform. The state standard is 400 count fecal coliform per 100 milliliters, and we have received samples in the creek which exceed that threshold. Because of that, we have conducted a series of meetings. The process to identify and correct this fecal coliform impairment requires an initial two-step process. That two-step process initially begins with a maps on the table exercise, which we conducted in January. At that meeting, we brought all the stakeholders in the basin to gather together to discuss their knowledge, their information, their concerns, their observations of Cedar Creek and the basin itself. We provided maps of the drainage basin that showed where public property was, local parks, our drainage conveyance systems, our sewer systems, and sat with the public and these regulatory agencies to discuss how to plan a subsequent meeting where we actually walked the water body. A group of us went out in a 15-passenger van and walked the creek from St. Joseph Sound to where it terminates east of County Road 1. One of the participants in the maps on the table was Anita Nash. She's an environmental scientist with FDEP, and she pretty much shepherded us through this process.
My job today is to work with city staff and the Department of Health to explore the watershed of Cedar Creek. We are looking for potential sources of fecal coliforms, which are indicators of possible pathogens or disease in our fishable, swimmable streams, which Cedar Creek is. We do assessments on waters of the state every 5 years, and when the data was reviewed, it was impaired, so a TMDL, total maximum daily load report, was written to determine how much reduction of fecal coliforms needs to be done in this waterway in order to get it to meet state standards for Class 3 water, which is the fishable, swimmable. We got to tour some of the more natural areas over by Hammock Park and a few of the contributing ditches to that area. And the biggest thing that we saw this morning is a lot of dog waste that's not being picked up. Dog waste is really high in fecal coliform, and just a little bit of that makes it into the water stream can cause some major hits. And dog waste also carries with it disease that if humans were to ingest it during swimming could cause problems.
In that walk, we physically inspected all the areas that were identified by the public, staff, and the other regulatory agencies at the maps on the table exercise. We drew water samples from the creek, we drew samples from some manholes and inlets, and we took that information back for analysis. As part of that exercise, we did discover some things of concern. We discovered some pipes that were suspect, which we have subsequently reevaluated. We found in the more developed areas of Dunedin within the Cedar Creek Basin some lack of best management practices by some restaurants and merchants with their dumpsters and the disposal materials. We evaluated septic tanks, and that was really beneficial for us to have the representative from the health department who oversees the septic tank program here in Pinellas County. He was with us and participated in the project. We identified some sources that we want to further investigate and address with the property owners.
We noted areas where wildlife might be prominent because there are natural sources of fecal coliform in this watershed, so we wanted to document all the potentials. So we looked at the maps, we compared where sewer lines run near stormwater ditches. Potentially, we haven't found any today, but we always look for the potential for a breakage that is going on that may be contributing directly into the stream. So far we haven't found any of those. It's really important to remember the simple thing of just picking up your dog waste. Dog waste carries so many things that we just can't afford to have in our storm systems and our state waters.
Yeah, I would definitely encourage people, it's in our best interest, it's in your best interest to pick up after your pets. It's not a lot of work, it's easy to do. If you notice throughout the city's park systems, the Parks and Rec Department provides signage, containers, and bags to make it convenient and easy for you to do that. If you know of areas that where you walk your pet and we're lacking those service stations, please contact the Parks and Rec Department or the Public Services Department, and we will make sure that those are deployed to make it convenient for you to pick up after your pet. Now that we've completed the maps on the table and walk the water body exercise, the next step in our process is to compile all the data, the sampling information, the photographs that were taken, the corrective measures we've accomplished, put that into a report. That report will also identify action items that we'll be addressing going forward. That report is something that we will have to submit to Tallahassee, to FDEP. We'll likely have a public meeting with the City Commission to discuss the report before its transmission to Tallahassee. We hope that that'll be the first step in recognizing not only the problem, but identifying the needs, the concerns, and the issues that we have so that we can correct this problem going forward.